Hello and welcome to How Worthy is Gourry Potentially. So in this video, I'm going to run through the hero review for Gourry, the Genius Swordsman. And if you came from Lina's video, I welcome you guys. And if you haven't seen Lina's How Worthy video, I'll link it in the card above. Feel free to visit it if you want to see how worthy is Lina potentially. So without further ado, let us start this video. Master Swordsman Gourry is the new unique hero that's given to everyone from the SlayersXNext collab event. So everyone can farm for him. You're able to get the hero as well as max him out to 5 stars just playing through the event rifts as well as farming points for the event itself. So yeah, she's a free hero. And you also get the exclusive weapon. So I'm not too sure whether or not you'll be able to max limit break the weapon, but according to one of the comments left by a viewer, you might be able to max the weapon out as well, but just take it with a pinch of salt because I don't think they'll give you the weapon and allow you to max it out. But if that's the case, then that would be amazing. So yeah, that's basically all the info for Gourry itself, and let us analyze how worthy is Gourry potentially. So Gourry is a genius swordsman in his role with no match amongst the humans. And he has the looks but not the brain because he has slight difficulties understanding even the simplest of complex stuff. Although he's a super sweetheart as he's able to remember every little detail about Lina, claiming to be the swordsman protector for Lina. The Sword of Light, known as Gourry Nova, is his family sword passed down for many generations and has the ability to change one's willpower into the power of light. So it is an amazing sword with the ability to deflect and absorb the magic from incoming attack. And Gourry's stats ranking based on level 83 heroes are 35th in terms of attack, 16th in terms of HP, 12th in terms of defense with a 3% crit chance. So from the stats distribution, Gourry is more of a tanky swordsman than a hyper offensive one because the attack stat of 910 isn't really the strongest. And I'll say that this has a lot of similarity to Beth, and you guys will hear Beth a lot because Gourry's whole kit is really similar to the Dark Magician Beth. So yeah, you guys will see later his animation, the weapon skill animation, and how the chain actually looks like. It's a lot of similarities there. So that's that. So his normal attack, Torch Knot Swordsmanship, allows him to quickly swing his sword and then inflict damage to the enemy. Even though over here it states that it quickly swings his sword, there's still a bit of delay whenever he swings his sword from one stance to another one, so that's that. It's very easy to dodge it, you just gotta run away quickly, and yeah, he will have difficulty chasing after you. Gourry's chain skill is known as Blade of Light, which is a simple 300% DPS strike to the enemy, boosted by the down status. His special ability Light increases his damage up to a total of 30% in proportion to his health, and reduces the damage taken up to a total of 30% in proportion to lost HP. So this skill might sound a bit confusing, but it's basically a mix between Beth and Sohee. So Beth gets damage reduction as well as more damage the more enemies she's fighting, and for Sohee gets more damage reduction the less HP she has. So in a sense, Gourry is a more inferior version of Beth because he can only get up to a total of 30%, whereas Beth get up to a total of 60%. And I don't exactly know how this in proportion calculation works, so that's that. I'll leave it to somebody out there to discover it, but overall the skill is kind of mediocre in my honest opinion. So Gourry's exclusive weapon makes him more of a PvE hero because it grants him a massive up to 15% HP recovery on enemy kills, and also increases the normal damage for his normal attack, and also creates a shield of 10% HP whenever he kills the enemy. So in a sense, he sort of make up for the damage reduction that Beth have with this exclusive weapon buffs. And other than that, the exclusive weapon skill Decisive Blow is pretty straightforward. It's just like a Beth weapon skill which he jumps forward and then slaps the floor and change the enemy in 2 or 3 hits. However, the AoE from the skill is much smaller, so in a sense he's not really meant for arena. I'm just gonna say it here first. He's also not that good for Colosseum as well. I'm gonna talk about it later, and that's that, right? So that's it for the Sword of Light. Let us move on to the PvP analysis. Now, in terms of Colosseum side, I think Gourry just doesn't have much, making him a healing machine there. Although he has a bit of tankiness from killing the enemy and he gains a bit of HP, but in Colosseum you need damage, you need burst, and Gourry kind of lacks that. So like honestly speaking, being a melee unit doesn't help him in Colosseum, and he's just not super duper good, and you probably can't make him look good if you don't have the stats to do it. So that's that for Gourry. Let us move on to the arena aspects. So in terms of arena, I don't actually see a lot of Gourry, and I attribute it to the fact that number one, arena is too prominent, right? The strongest basic unit is just good against light unit, and number two, Gourry's kit is very similar to Beth, and Beth is really kind of underpowered right now. You don't really see a lot of Beth, so Gourry being such a like an inferior version of Beth is probably not gonna see a lot of play as well, right? You could make him work, but the playstyle is pretty similar to Beth, right? That's that, and just a weaker version in a way. And yeah, that's it for Gourry in terms of arena. I don't really have a lot of footages for Gourry because number one, I either can't really make him work, or number two, my opponent just kills me way too fast, right? So there's really nothing much for me to show you guys in terms of arena, because I don't see a lot of Gourry, and I don't really run Gourry myself, because in general he's just a very weak arena unit as well. So in terms of PvP, Gourry is kind of like a mediocre, maybe like a low B tier unit, maybe high B tier, maybe depends on how you look at it. In terms of PvE discussions, I'll say that Gourry is generally a good unit in situations where you fight multiple enemies all at once, and you can treat him as a weaker version of Beth if you don't have Beth in your kit. So that's something going for him. And in terms of raid, I think he's also very feasible there, because melee attack makes him work in most melee teams with the respective weapons. And even, you know, you can put him in the light melee team with Lapis and Carol, and probably he might work there as well. So that's that, but he's not the most optimal raid unit. So unless you don't have better alternative, unless you don't have enough units, then you know you can use Gourry as a substitute. But if not, he's not really like the best unit for raid itself. Nonetheless, I'll still rate him at least a high A tier unit just for PvE purposes, because I think the most important thing to take a look at Gourry is that you're able to get him for free. You're able to get him to 5 stars just by playing the events itself. So this will benefit even the newer players who has difficulty with the story mode, because you're able to max him out so quickly. He's able to carry you through story mode in most cases, just off the abilities of the exclusive weapon as well as the like 5-star abilities itself. So to end it off, how worthy is Gourry potentially? He's probably not the strongest unit, especially in comparison to Lina, but still he's a decent one considering the fact that he's completely free together with his exclusive weapon. So since you get him to 5-star really easily, there's really nothing much to ask for. He's basically a free unit. And if you do not have a Beth in your hero pool and you want a substitute character, then Gourry is a good and cheap alternative to max him break with your hero crystals. But other than that, I think you don't really have a reason to max him out unless you have spare resources, or unless you simply love this character as a whole. So yep, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel in order to see more contents from this channel, and do take a look at the Zippoship membership page to support the channel financially. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!